Hello and welcome to Reviews with Ryan. Today I'm going to be talking about the brand new drama thriller film For the Love of Money. This is directed by Leslie Small. Real quick before we dive into this review, I want to thank you guys for clicking on this review. If you like all kinds of movie content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give the video a like and maybe comment, are you going to see For the Love of Money? Now without further ado, let's jump into this review. For the Love of Money is about a single mother struggling to survive, and in doing so, she turns to a life of crime. The film stars Cat Williams, Carrie Hilson, DC Young Fly, Keith Sweat, and Jason Mitchell. So going into this film, I did not see a trailer. I did not read the synopsis. I just went ahead and checked this out since it was something new at my theater. And honestly, after watching this film, I feel kind of indifferent a little bit because I don't feel like it's necessarily a terrible film, but I didn't really love the film either. Going into this, there is a lot of different plot points that come up. There's stuff that I noticed throughout the film that isn't very consistent, such as in the film where there is a plot point of police brutality. Something happens with that, and they don't really revisit it. And then there is a couple other plot points in the movie where something happens, and to me, it's kind of one of it's like a minor thing, and the other thing it's a little bit kind of major, especially since the one person that's kind of getting screwed over in that particular scene, they have a relationship with her and they don't really revisit it, and it just kind of is unresolved. I didn't really like that about the film, and there's definitely certain things throughout the film when it's doing pacing where things are being cut, and it's just, some of the editing is just kind of strange. As far as the soundtrack for this, the movie is rap music and R&B music, and it flows fine with the film. There's really nothing wrong with it. As far as the cinematography goes, there's really nothing too special here. It's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't say there's anything really good as far as the shots in this film. It's pretty straightforward. I don't really have any problems with any camera work in this, but there's nothing unique about any shots that are in this film. As far as the acting goes, I think the pastor, Cat Williams, he does a pretty good job. I think the main woman lead, Carrie Hilson, I think she does a pretty good job for the most part, but there are some lines that weren't delivered as much. The film also tries to kind of force in these different kind of emotional scenes, and they feel really unearned. I didn't really feel anything, and the reason why is because all these characters, they're doing a lot of bad stuff, and they're doing all these bad things, and I don't feel any sympathy for them because they're doing all these things they shouldn't be doing and not doing the right things. So because they're doing that, I don't feel any emotional connection when said something happens major to a character. And I think going through this film also, I was missing the message of this film. I don't really think that there was really much of a message in this film. I guess, yeah, she's turned into a life of crime to help out her daughter, but really throughout this crime, there really isn't much of a lesson to be learned, because why should I, the reviewer, root for this character? Towards the end, really not a lot is solved, and really the only character towards the end that you really maybe have any type of sympathy for because she seems sincere would be her daughter. And really, there's really no other characters to have any type of sympathy for, or there's really no kind of, I guess, lesson to be learned through this. It's just kind of one of these drama thriller films that kind of unfolds, different events happen, and then once the ending happens, it's not necessarily abrupt, but it's really an ending that really kind of, I guess, is the only route they could do once kind of all the events unfold. But honestly, with this movie, I'm going to give it a score of a 2 out of 5. It had some interesting moments. There was a little bit of comedy. It was kind of funny throughout the film where she is kind of getting whistled at and made all these different comments and stuff. She is an attractive woman. So that did make me laugh throughout the film. Some of the lines, they're a little laughable in the film. Some of the dialogue is a little stupid at times. But I had a little fun time with it. I'm not saying that I'd go out and buy it or probably give it another watch. But for what it was and going into a film blind, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. It had a little bit of entertainment value there. But as far as a drama thriller film goes, this is a pretty straightforward film. There's a little bit of surprise towards the end, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. Thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll see you guys in my next review.